Space Marines are usually the first race anyone plays, and they also tend to be the most popular. This is in large part due to the fact that they are more forgiving than other races. They feature solid units with high durability, plenty of healing and defensive benefits to help their survival even further, and very strong morale that allows them to push hard and pressure enemies with less fear of being forced back due to broken morale. Space Marines are very tactically versatile, and their core unit, the Tactical Space Marine Squad, gives them the ability to deal with nearly any situation. Space Marines are definitely orientated towards ranged combat, with powerful heavy weapons that get even better with upgrades, but they have decent melee options as well. They have quite a few vehicles at their disposal in every category: light skimmer, walkers, battle tanks and artillery. Late game, the orbital relay is a great tool for getting troops and dreadnoughts to the battlefield quickly, or dropping them behind enemy lines to do some demolition. Space Marines work best in large groups, taking advantage of attached heroes and apothecaries, which often have powerful auras that provide overlapping benefits. Large-scale firefights are ideal for them, as they can really pour in firepower. Often, the enemy must divide and conquer, or use harassment and hit-and-run tactics to defeat a large Space Marine army, rather than face it head-on. Keep your army together and force confrontations by applying pressure to your enemy, often with the aid of heavy bolters or missiles to destroy buildings from long range, or assault marine squads with melter bombs to take out listening posts. This faction breakdown will cover the individual units, the commanders, buildings, and tech unique for the Space Marines. Please be aware that this series is not intended to show you the tactics or how to play them, it's just to give you a general overview of what you can expect as a Space Marine player in Dawn of War Soulstorm Pro, and set you up to play online or in skirmishes against the AI. The Scout is the first unit available in the Space Marine tech tree. They are fast and have a good line of sight. They also have the toggle infiltration ability after reaching tier 2. This makes them the perfect scouts for your army. The upgrades also allow them to be used in a much more aggressive style as support for your larger army. Early game harassment and aggressive point capping make your scouts squads vital. Scouts have really poor close combat and should be used running around firing their guns instead of using their knives. The Tactical Marine is the basic unit of the Space Marine army, effective at range combat and with weapon upgrades available to allow hard counters. The Tactical Marine is very versatile. Marines are still usable in all tiers for several purposes and are able to be all non-close combat specialised units in close combat. Grey Knights are powerful Space Marines that serve in the Inquisition. They dedicate their lives to destroying demons and other chaotic entities. They are enhanced by their psychic powers and blessed Aegis armour. They make a very powerful early game unit, however they are very expensive and should not be sent off alone. They do excellent close combat damage and good range damage. Assault Marines have at their disposal jump packs which allow them to get quickly in and out of battle as well as cross normally impassable terrain. They are strong in close combat but will not beat close combat specialists. They are best used to tie up ranged units while others shoot. You can also use them as early game harassing units to keep the enemy busy with recapping and defending strategic locations. Terminators are the big guys in the Space Marine army. With good health, armour and firepower, they are effective against infantry at ranged and close combat. Their weakness is their slow speed, as their armour is very cumbersome. Their power fists are excellent anti-vehicle weapons. Assault Terminators are the strongest close combat infantry in the Space Marine army. They beat most close combat specialists but have no range damage, so require deep striking or teleporting to get them into battle as they move slowly. They can be overrun by really large mobs of units, so be aware. The Servitor is the builder unit of the Space Marines. It constructs all the Space Marine buildings and can repair damaged vehicles or buildings. Skull Probes are the perfect addition to the Tier 2 infantry army. Attached to a squad, they increase the line of sight while their sabotage ability can be used to disable vehicles, buildings and turrets. Furthermore, the detection ability can be used to prevent ambushes and scout further locations, as well as reveal hidden Eldar buildings. The Rhino is the basic transport unit, available from the HQ immediately at Tier 2. It is a key unit if you hit Tier 2, slightly before your enemy. They won't have a counter immediately, and it provides a strong advantage. Because tactical marines are slow, they cannot compete for map control alone, nor can they escape an ambush or do hit and run strikes to far enemy positions without leaving a front open. Using a Rhino will allow you to compensate for your tactical marine slowness. The Dreadnought adds a close combat punch to the Space Marine army and is mostly used to engage close combat, specialised infantry and lighter mechanised walkers with brutal force. The Dread's only weakness is that it can be out-macroed. You can replace one arm with anti-infantry or vehicle weaponry, though doing so reduces its close combat damage per second by half. The Hellfire Dreadnought is the ranged version of the Dreadnought. Its role is an infantry counter and vehicle counter in Tier 3. It doesn't excel at either role, but can be upgraded to be a powerful anti-vehicle. It can also replace its rocket launcher ornament with a las cannon for anti-vehicle purposes. The Land Speeder is a cheap, highly effective anti-infantry vehicle. It is very vulnerable to anti-vehicle weaponry because of its low health and weak armour. It's mainly used to gain quick vehicle advantages over infantry masses for short periods of time. The Whirlwind's purpose is massively long-range artillery support. Its role is to hail upon enemy stationary positions, such as enemy troops stationed in heavy cover. The Whirlwind may not be equal to the Imperial Guard's Basilisk, but still has great potential. The shells disrupt infantry troops and demoralise them greatly. The Predator is the heavy battle tank of the Space Marines. It is able to cover the map quickly while blazing away with its cannons on infantry in an attempt to support the troops with massive firepower. You can upgrade every Predator cannon with las cannons to form a solid, powerful vehicle counter. Devastators are most devastating in packs, driving around the battlefield while taking the hits instead of their infantry brethren, delivering devastating firepower at the same time. The Space Marine Uber unit, the Land Raider, is a force to be reckoned with. Two twin-linked las cannons make its anti-vehicle unmatched, whilst the Machine Spirit makes its armour impenetrably strong. The Land Raider can also transport up to 2 squads of infantry. The primary hero of the Space Marine Army, the Force Commander, is available Tier 1. During Tier 2 and Tier 3 he gains more abilities, including the awesome Orbital Bombardment. He is also a necessity for countering demons like the Bloodthirster. He is just behind the Chaos Lord in close combat strength. Also, his hammer has a chance of stunning enemy heroes in close combat. The Librarian is a powerful Psyker whose powers are invaluable to any Space Marine army. He boasts disruption abilities, morale destruction, as well as the Word of the Emperor, which prevents all Space Marines dying for a certain period of time. This makes the Librarian a worthy hero to build in Tier 3, although the Force Commander in Tier 1 and especially the Chaplain in Tier 2 work for mass infantry battles. In Tier 2 you can build the Librarian or Chaplain, in Tier 3 you can build both. The Chaplain is the third hero of the Space Marine Army. His abilities boost the effectiveness of the squads, while he himself is strong in close combat and great at disrupting squads. The Apothecary is a must-have for the Tier 2 Space Marine Army. The healing ability allows for quick health regeneration between battles and a prolonged life expectancy for any Space Marine squad he is attached to. Multiple Apothecaries healing auras stack. This can be vital in Space Marine infantry mirrors, since the healing rates can determine the outcome of battles. This is also one of the most important Marine infantry boosts, and I would like to emphasise that every good Space Marine army should have one attached. Alright, so we're just going to quickly go through each individual building while that's been built. We'll have a look at the Stronghold. That's where you get your Scout Marines, squad caps, all that bits and bobs. You'll notice that the resources and the squad cap and vehicle cap for the Space Marines are very similar to the vanilla. Nothing really special going on there. Scouts, obviously. Oh, by the by, I'm using lab mode, so that's why everything's been built super duper quick. This isn't like I'm not using like god tier servitors at the moment. But yeah, so here's the chaplain barracks. Straight from the gate, you can get squad marines, force commander, and some grey knights. Now you'll notice that at the beginning of the game, you can only have 2 boys to this squad, 1 boy to this squad, and 1 boy to this squad. Now, if I throw down an armory, you'll notice that now I can add... Oh, it's still 1 to those boys. Now I can add 2 to these boys and 2 to these boys. So as the game goes on, and you build and you go higher and higher up the tech tree, you'll be able to add more boys to each individual squad. Let's have a look at what is in the armory at the beginning. Oh, while we're doing this, I'll capture a listening post. So yeah, you're able to get some elite scout training. If you pop that down, you are now able to get a scout sergeant, as well as some sniper rifles. Yep, we're able to get target finders, bionics level 1. We'll not be able to get that heavy weapon increase until we get a monastery add-on. So we'll throw that bad boy down. And then notice that now we can have an extra 3 boys in these squads, 3 boys in those squads. I noticed as well that we can also add a skull probe to the Grey Knights, but we need a listening post for that, which is why I'm going to pop one on as we go through. Once we've got to, yeah, we're able to get assault marines. Maximum of 2 can be on the field at any given time. We can only have 1 squad of Grey Knights on at any given time. What other upgrades are available? We can upgrade our flamers with advanced Prometheum fuel. Does increase morale damage for all flamers. We're also able to add some power swords and plasma pistols, and also upgrade our hero war gear once we've captured a relic as we go on. What's available at tier 2? Right, so we're able to get a machine cult. We'll throw one of those boys down. And we'll also throw a listening post down as well while we're here. Yep, so straight off the bat, Dreadnought, Hellfire Dreadnought, Landspeeder, Whirlwind, and Predator. We're also able to get a Rhino. We are able to get a Rhino from here as well. At the Stronghold. Straight out of the way from tier 2. So that is cool. We also have frag grenades and melter bombs as well. Frag grenades obviously for the regular tactical marines, and melter bombs for our assault marines. What else have we got? We've got the sacred artifact, which you can get a chaplain, or the other dude, the librarian. Now notice, at tier 2 we can only have 1 of the 2. So if we throw down a face down, look at that, we can also get a librarian as well. We've got a bunch of upgrades down here. We've got Commander Veteran upgrade, Chaplain Research, Chastism, the Righteous Emperor. I won't go massively into what all these upgrades do. If you want to just pause and read the doobly bits and bobs. We've got Weaken, Resolve, Research, and Furious Charge. Get some more of those boys in as well. What happens if I just press all these together? Yep, so next upgrade we can have for our sergeants is a full-blown Power Fist. What else, upgrades-wise? Alblative armor fittings, you know, just very standard. This is why I started with the Space Marine faction, because they're the closest, I think, in my opinion, to the vanilla faction. Now, we also have a land raider that we can get here as well, but we need to build an orbital relay and a capture relic. And the relic on this map is a bajillion million years, but if you've watched the video up to now, you've seen there's a land raider. Venerable Dreadnought, I always want to call these vulnerable Dreadnoughts. Once you build them, they go straight into the orbital relay, and you have to summon them down on the field. You can also upgrade some personal teleporters, and, oh, by the by, yeah, Terminators, Assault Terminators and regular Terminators in here. Maximum of 2 each squad. Let's have a look. Yeah, maximum of 2 Venerable Dreadnoughts for Space Marines. We have maximums for, yeah, maximum of 4 Dreadnoughts, either or, 4 Land Speeders, 3 Predators, 3 Whirlwinds, obviously just the 1 Land Raider, and 6 in the way of Rhino transports. Now I'm thinking if I press all these, anything else that comes up? Nope. Oh, also, in the Stronghold, as the game goes on, and you capture your cheeky relic, there's a bunch of different upgrades. Oh, so I'll hold the mouse over them a little bit slower so it's easier for you to pause and read what each individual thing does. Now, as I've mentioned in one of the videos that I've done in the past on like a pro Soulstorm cast, once you've captured a relic, you're able to upgrade your commander, which is obviously our main boy here. Once you've got one relic and one stronghold, you can choose one from each of these rows. Now, if I throw down a second... Oh, and also notice as well that now that I've built all my bits and bobs, I can't build a second one. But if I throw down a second stronghold, if you take a peep at these squad caps, they've just suddenly gone up. And I'm also able to throw in a final one. So these are the maximum amount of squads that we can have. But, yeah, so once I've got 2 strongholds down, not only am I able to have more boys on the field, not only am I able to put down another chapel, barracks, and 1 extra of all these buildings, but I'm also able to, whatever piece of equipment I have not upgraded my HQ commander with, I'm now able to upgrade them with the second piece. And that is it, I do believe. Oh, we're also able to get a skull probe down here. Usual fortified positions, all that jazz. Now, what was I going to say? I was going to say that, yeah, so there's loads and loads more information you can get from the Dawn of War Pro manuals if you go to the links down below and look at them. Also, if you're really interested in learning more about the tactics, I will be doing build orders once I've done a faction breakdown for each individual faction. But if you're really hungry for build orders and all those bits and bobs and strategies, you can go on to the manuals for the Space Marine faction, and right at the bottom there's build orders, like, you know, barracks rushes and scout spams and all that jazz. I haven't read them purely because I've got a very, very low attention span, which is why I've made a video like this, because if you're like me, reading is... I'm an audiobook kind of guy. You know, if I was getting into a new game, I'd probably be listening to a video like this while washing the pots or something. So that's kind of why I've done it like this. So yeah, so I hope that it's been useful. I hope that it's made you want to download the game and get involved, because I really want loads of games to cast. And I know it's selfish, but hey, what else can we do? Anyway, my name's been Mr. Landshark. It's been a pleasure as always, never a chore, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace.